There is a huge component missing from our self-help and personal development realm, and we are going to be diving into that today. So before you sign up for another thing to try to fix you, to better you, to improve you, please, this message is designed for my older souls, for my starseeds, my galactic beings who know that there is something inherently so specifically designed for you, and that all of this noise, all of these well-intentioned people that are trying to help you, there is such a big missing piece. And when my guides brought this through, it just clicked. It landed in my body, and my hope is that you can receive it in your body and feel it as truth as well, because we have all heard to feel the fear and do it anyway. We've all heard to just tap into your higher self and move in that frequency, and to become that version of you now and do it. So if we intellectually know all of these, we know that these are what we should do. We know that this is the formula to manifestation and creation, is to have the vision and do it. Have the vision and do it, right? But we're gonna read a channeled message that my guides brought through to really anchor all of this in. But the big key here, that we have to, as older souls and as really stewards of consciousness, what this is doing when we just tell people to feel the fear and do it anyways. This works for younger souls. This doesn't work for old souls, and or it has worked in the past, but it's not working now, because where we are going is to a higher and different dimension and frequency. And you are here to help people and guide them in this truth. And so to tell people this is not going to serve them. And what it's going to do is actually just dysregulate you, dysregulate the body, and cause more chaos and confusion than what you probably need. Because we can get to where we desire by doing these things, but there's a difference between getting to where you desire in a harmonious and beautiful and expansive way, and getting to where you desire in shambles and not like getting thrown there and having all of these traumas and that you've accumulated and bruises and all of these things, right? And so what I want to share with you is, how do we actually get to this place, and perhaps even use some of this wisdom and feedback that we have received from the personal development and self-help and even spirituality, is rather than just feeling the fear and doing it anyways, and rather than just taking the quantum leap. Oh my goodness, how many people have you heard just take massive action, even in the spiritual realm? Just take the action, just take the action, and then everything will come. And there is truth to this. But first, what do we have to do first? This is the missing piece, and that is tapping into and accessing your soul. Have you asked your soul what is in alignment? Have you asked your soul what is their truth? Have you asked your soul what their desires are? You see, when we get so caught up into another's vision, and because you are here listening to this, you probably feel deeply these visions of other people, and you feel the emotions and the passion within all of these people. I certainly have, and certainly do. But when we are going from a place and acting from a place of unrootedness in our soul, we're going to wind up not where we are intending to go, or B, get to where we want to go, but with bruises and beaten up and not in the condition that we could have gotten there with joy and pleasure and really enjoying our life. right? And so why this is not sold as an integral and cute part is because this isn't always easy. This isn't always easy when we are living in a society that operates from here. This isn't easy when we are operating in this fight or flight. Like, the majority of people are in some varying degree of fight or flight. And if you are living in fight or flight and from here, you are not living in alignment with the soul. You simply aren't receiving the soul's messages. Now, well, you are. You're just not hearing them and knowing them and embodying them. And so why this isn't sold as a really sexy part of the process is it requires a little bit of time. It requires an extra step. It requires an extra commitment of really coming into the body, of coming into our truth, of coming into our heart, of coming into stillness. Oh my goodness. And stillness is like, for someone, and I can speak from experience, and I've seen this with clients, for someone who is operating in fight or flight and simply from their head, stillness can seem like prison. And I get it. And stillness can bring up all of the limiting beliefs and all of the what if it doesn't work, and what if this and that and worst case scenarios. But I don't want you to feel the fear and do it anyway, only to get to a place that isn't aligned with your soul. Now, if that does happen, and it inevitably will at some point in our journeys, to varying degrees, you're still learning, so that's okay. So if you've seen that this has happened in the past, have grace and compassion for yourself, because this is part of the process and part of the journey. But like, you're going to learn through this. And as I look back now, like, I see so many times where I was sold on a vision of someone else, of someone else's dreams, because I am so highly empathetic and I am so receptive to energy and feel things so deeply. And I'm sure you do to some degree as well. And so when we can feel others' passion and feel others' desires, we think that that can be our own. We think that their way is our way. And there really is no way. There is no way other than your way. And what your soul will show you and teach you is how to get there in your way. And so I'm going to read just a brief snippet of this channeled message. They anchor this into the body so that we can connect with our soul. And so to remember, this is a very different frequency that you are approaching than ever before. This is not alignment with what other self-help gurus have shared about simply becoming and doing it anyways. This is about harnessing the soul first and then becoming and doing it anyways. These are very different frequencies. And this is the key step to harness and connect with your soul first. For when this takes place, now you can see, sense, know, and feel how to move and work with the energy in ways which you feel more grounded, supported, anchored, and rooted into where you are going. Because you sense, feel, and know it is from the soul. Not just because some guy told you to do it. This is a big difference and distinction that we must clarify. And so to learn your wisdom, your truth, your soul connection, and this is what anchors you, roots you, and centers you in all you do. To connect with this essence, this luminosity, this light. This is what will carry you forward into a new trajectory. This is the difference that makes the difference. And so as we feel into that and feel into the difference that makes the difference, I really want to ask you and allow you and to begin to get curious as to how you have missed what your soul has been leading and guiding you. Because here's the thing, then when you take that leap into the unknown and facing the fear and doing it anyways, you feel deeply this sense and knowing that even if it doesn't make sense to the mind, the soul knows. The soul knows exactly where it's going. And so you can trust and you can feel the fear and do it anyways. You can feel the fear and move forward with conviction and love and strength because you have harnessed and accessed your soul. And this isn't a one and done thing, my friends. This is a constant learning of the language of our soul. And so if you're ready to learn the language of your soul, this is the miracle frequency. This is where I am leading and guiding you, and I have a lesson specifically for this to connect you with your soul. There's a meditation in there to connect you with your divine knowing, with your divine truth, with your infinite self. I also have a meditation below that will help you, if you're not ready for the miracle frequency, to just connect you to your infinite self. But I highly recommend getting into the miracle frequency, because this is where we're diving into the how to connect with and anchor your soul so that you can feel the fear and do it anyways, so that we can integrate this missing step, and so that you can move in a place of knowing and levity and lightness even when it doesn't make sense to the mind. This is how we drop from the mind, from the fight or flight, into the body, into the heart, into the soul knowing. And when we do this, we're in the miracle frequency. We are aligned with our soul, we are aligned with our truth, and we can walk in this conviction even when our external environment isn't making sense to us. It doesn't make sense to the logical mind. We deeply know that where we are desiring to go, we will get there, because we're living from a soul aligned place. We have to access the soul before we take the leap. We have to. If we're taking the leap without accessing the soul, we are leaping towards nowhere. And so, yes, many people have said get clear on your vision, but this is getting clear on your vision, not from here, but from your soul. And so getting that clarity from your soul will be the difference that makes the difference. So if you're ready to join us in the miracle frequency, details are below, and I'm just sending you all infinite love and light.